It's been 3 years since Joe Goldberg returned to the United States. Now, he's not hiding. He's in the spotlight, thanks to his powerful wife, Kate. As the CEO of the TR Lockwood Corporation, Kate is using her wealth to do good and reshape her legacy, with Joe, now dubbed Prince Charming, always by her side. Kate has even managed to bring Henry back into their custody after Joe's haunting decision to leave him behind. And though Joe's life seems picture-perfect, he's clearly struggling. He misses the darker version of himself and feels the pull of his old ways, even as he tries to resist. At their latest charity gala, Kate announces a major new initiative to help kids, pledging a large portion of Lockwood funds. But not everyone is thrilled, especially the board. Reagan, Kate's resentful half-sister and CFO, is furious. She expected to inherit the company. Her twin, Maddie, is bubbly, flirtatious, and seems indifferent to the drama. But Joe isn't fooled. Uncle Bob, the COO, and Kate's most loyal supporter, almost like a father to her. But Joe doesn't trust him. And then there's Teddy, Kate's fun, intelligent half-brother, who's both black and gay. Joe likes him, but suspects Kate hired him as a shield against accusations of racism and homophobia. Teddy serves as Kate's chief of staff and has her back completely. The night takes a turn when Teddy learns that Forbes is about to publish a damning expose on Kate, one that ties her to a cancer-causing pipeline. If it drops, Kate's reputation and Henry's future could all be destroyed. He's tried so hard to be good. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to go back to who he really is. Joe also finds out that after Mr. Mooney passed, Kate bought the building for Joe. He never actually opened it, and eventually agreed to put it back up for sale. He is paranoid as he thinks ghosts are following him, but by the window of the bookstore we see handprints. Might not be ghosts after all. The next morning, Joe tells Teddy that the story is real, and it could end everything. They agree that the source must be an insider. Since Kate is Teddy's only real supporter in the company, if she falls, he does too. Their first suspect is Reagan. She denies leaking the info. Joe watches her closely, and eventually decides she's not the mole. Suspect number 2, Maddie. Over drinks, she flirts and reveals her disdain for Kate's savior complex. When Joe defends Kate, Maddie hints that he's hiding who he really is, and that he wants more, or perhaps someone else, implying herself. While she goes to get drinks, Joe checks her phone, and boom. A group chat with Reagan and Bob, planning to oust Kate after the article goes live. Joe tells Kate, but she's furious he spied behind her back and insists she'll handle it herself. Joe is annoyed. He's trying to protect her, but she keeps shutting him out. That night, Joe kills Bob, and it's gruesome. Kate realizes he's not in bed, uses location tracking on his phone, and finds him mid-writing. Turns out he wasn't really killing Bob. It's a murder fantasy. She's horrified reading it. Not because he killed, but because he enjoyed the idea of it. She thought he only killed out of necessity, and now she's not sure she knows who he is anymore. She leaves, shaken. Joe, frustrated by her reaction, returns to the bookstore to stash the pages, only to discover he's not alone, and it's definitely not a ghost. He catches a girl named Bronte. She's been sneaking in to borrow books and always returns them. We quickly see Joe beginning to obsess over her the way he used to describe past love interests, but stops himself and insists it's not about her, just the place. She recognizes him as Prince Charming, but Joe lets her go, even giving her the book she came for. Kate confronts Bob. He admits to leaking the information, claiming Kate has lost the plot. When she says she'll survive the scandal, he brings up Reese Montrose, threatening her with more dirt. Out of options and desperate to protect her family, Kate tells Joe to handle it. Joe breaks into Bob's place while he sleeps. He wakes Bob up with music, then calmly and methodically strangles him with a rope. Afterwards, he sends an email from Bob's account, claiming Bob made up the story, regretted it, and took his own life. Before leaving, Joe notices a light on in the bookstore again. Bronte is back, this time planning to sleep there. They talk about books, and something in their conversation makes Joe decide he can't let go of Mooney's. He offers her a job, and she eagerly accepts. Back home, Joe tells Kate they're okay. She says, "I know," then adds that she loves him. That simple acceptance is exactly what Joe has been craving. In his mind, it's permission to fully be himself again. The episode ends with Joe unlocking the basement of the bookstore. He stands before the infamous glass cage and finally embraces who he is. Not the monster or the reformed man, but both. Joe Goldberg is back. Want a full Season 5 recap? Let me know in the comments.